Greetings, NBA fans. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson, and seated beside me, Kenny the Jet Smith, and the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. And coming up in just a bit, tip-off will be live from Salt Lake City as the Jazz go up against the Charlotte Hornets. Checking out the Hornets, they're looking to come out strong and make their mark early. They have to look at this game as a great opportunity to do just that. The Hornets don't have a lot of three-point threats, and subsequently last season didn't really punish teams from deep. Kenny, you think this team can go deep in the playoffs without having a strong game from the outside?
I don't know, Ernie, because it's very hard to succeed in the NBA without any sharpshooters. Think about this, Ernie. The final 5 teams in the playoffs last year were the 5 teams that took the most threes.
Exactly.
Charlotte was dead last in the league last year in three-point percentage, 31.8%. And they showed up in the standings. They reminded of myself on the free throw line. They stink.
Well, it wasn't that bad.
You were good in the clutch.
It was
you were good
bad.
in the clutch, though.
It was bad.
They were not good in the clutch. You were.
That's my point.
It was very nice of you to have his back.
I'm just keeping it right, not real.
All right. Let's go to Kevin Harlan, who always does both of those things.
We're in Salt Lake City, Utah, where the Jazz are looking to take one from an Eastern Conference opponent here at the Energy Solutions Arena. I'd like to welcome you to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, and on the sideline tonight, Doris Burke.
All right, ready to go? Ready to go?
So the Hornets win the tip. Smith against Green. Smith dishes to Schroeder. Screen by Ibaka. And that one's good. Schroeder.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
So let's take a look at the Charlotte starting lineup. Ibaka is out there with Bismack Biyombo. Then it's Turner. Then there's J.R. Smith. Winslow wide open. He fires, and he's good on the 3-ball. Winslow's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
And, you know, looking at Andrew Bogut, he's been one of the game's best centers. I mean, obviously injuries have saddled him a little bit over the years, but he's made it through 67 games each of the past 2 seasons.
And here's Utah. Up the floor, and the dunk by Winslow.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
Now here's Schroeder. Dishes to Smith. Ibaka with the screen on Green. No one near Turner as he lets it go. A 3-pointer off the mark. Winslow kicks to Parker. It's rebounded by Schroeder.
And although not a block officially, it might as well have been his ability to react and alter the shot.
Greg, I don't think there was any doubt about it. His defense threw him off on that shot. Offensively, 1 of 4 to start. They're still trying to find their stroke.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Well, Steve Clifford gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. I asked him what they needed to key in on defensively, and he said, well, we've got to limit penetration by Tony Parker. He's really the, quote, head of the snake. And with his floater, he doesn't need to get all the way to the rim to score. It's crucial that we do our best to keep him outside the lane. Guys, that's no easy assignment. We'll see how much success they have defensively.
And thank you for that, Doris. Green, the screen. Now here's Winslow. Turner covering. And finished off by Bogut.
Great unspoken communication between teammates leading to the nice assist and the easy score.
Outside Turner. The dish to Schroeder. A wide open look here for Ibaka. And he comes off the screen to bury the jump shot. Ibaka's got his first 2 points. Utah leading. Well, what a second half of the season it was for the Jazz. After the All-Star break, they went on a rampage.
And the catalyst for that was the defense. I mean, very few opponents got to triple digits against the Jazz after the All-Star break.
And for the Jazz and their defense post-All-Star break, it helped them in their big second-half run. How about a 422 field goal percentage against after the break?
The Jazz shooting their first free throws of the game on this trip to the line.
2 shots. Roof shots.
First one falls for.
And you know, you were talking about the field goal percentage against for the Jazz. It was the 3rd best in the league after the All-Star break. That's field goal percentage defense. They allowed the fewest points in the NBA after the break as well.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. After making it to the playoffs in 2014, the Hornets couldn't repeat the feat in 2015. A slow start probably, Greg, more than anything else did him in.
Really disappointing season coming in with such high expectations. And 33-49, just not good enough to get into the playoffs in any season.
For Utah, they've gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Parker outside. Over in the corner, Green. Parker outside. 5 to shoot. Out to the right wing. From about 19 feet. Goes right through for bucket number 3. He's a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
You know, for the Hornets, they've not made consecutive playoff appearances since the team moved to New Orleans back in 2002. They just haven't been able to stay consistent enough to make it to the playoffs back-to-back years. Showing us a little force on that putback, Kev.
Well, there was no way he was going to let that chance slip away.
No, sir.
Hey, guys, but how about the positioning there when the shot went up? Beautiful.
Now here's Parker. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game.
And, guys, what's rough for the Hornets is that they were a consistent playoff fixture in the late 90s. Still, the team has never made it to the conference finals in its franchise history, and that should be a goal for them in the coming years.
Now here's Parker after the miss from Serge Ibaka. From 12 feet out, and that's off the glass and in.
And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Showed nice basketball IQ. I agree, Greg. I mean, if he finds his spot on the perimeter and doesn't force it, I think his outside shot will be hard to block no matter who's defending it.
And, of course, Tony Parker, so big for San Antonio in those championship runs. But word on the street was that Spurs coach Greg Popovich didn't always go easy on Tony. He really pushed him to the limit.
You know, it started back when Tony was invited to the Spurs summer camp before the 2001 draft. One of the scouts was really physical with Tony, really gave him a hard time, and that was really the start of his maturation process in learning to deal with the NBA.
So Utah ends up going with the new group. We've got 1:13 left to play in the first quarter. Iguodala no good.
And, you know, getting back to Popovich's relationship with Tony Parker, Pop made the decision to draft Parker. So he obviously saw something. But Pop's a perfectionist, and if you're going to play point guard for him, you've got to deliver consistently.
Hornets trail by 3. Teague, the pass to Korver. Gordon kicks to Teague. 6 to shoot. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over.
Jazz
ball. There's 31 seconds left here in the first quarter. And Rubio kicks to Thompson. Aflalo dishes to Thompson. He feeds it to Rubio. From the arc. It's hauled in by Andre Iguodala. Outside Teague. That falls. Nice feed that time from Andre Iguodala.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with the pass.
Here's Rubio. And it is good at the buzzer. Wow.
And that's a big bonus for him to end the quarter as he just beats the buzzer.
That's superb clock management there, maximizing every second of the clock in that situation. Well done.
And Serge Ibaka, becoming known for his shooting ability now, he talked about the confidence his teammates and his coach instilled in him.
He trusts you. Every time he passes the ball, when you don't shoot, he screams you, shoot ball. Then next time what? You will shoot. And if you miss, you say, yeah, good shot. You know, and your coaches in the practice talking to your teammates. Man, when Serge is open, give him the ball. He will make that shot.
Well, if you wonder how much difference a coach can make for a player, there it is. Huh?
You heard it in Serge's voice, too. That confidence has already been planted in him. That voice telling him, shoot the ball, is now in his own head. He's going to be just fine.
And so far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And guys, from what we've been watching with the Jazz, what are you guys seeing out there?
Just the start they're looking for in this game. Solid offensively through the first.
Very crisp and sharp, not much stagnation at all on offense.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the floor for Charlotte, Teague out there with Kyle Korver. Then it's Aaron Gordon. Then there's Iguodala. And it's Ezeli in at the 5 spot. Free throw good, Teague. Well, you just watched Jeff Teague. He's a natural scorer. Clark, he's also made steady improvement as a playmaker.
Yeah, you look at his assist rate, Kevin, well in the top 10 in the league. He's cut down on his turnovers as well. You can tell he's starting to really figure it out, and the game is slowing down for him.
And the Jazz making a change here. Parker's checked in, and so Teague hits 2 free throws.
And Teague's also athletic. You know, sometimes you forget that. I mean, this guy's got the tools also to be a terrific defender. And I still think he's developing consistency at that end of the floor.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And speaking of Jeff Teague's defense, I mean, his rebounding, I think, could also be a little higher. I mean, with his bounce, he can get in there and grab a few more.
Well, for Jabari Parker in his rookie year, not the kind of NBA career start that he wanted. Played great. Was probably the rookie of the year up until the time he was injured, blowing the knee and cutting his season short.
A great call. He definitely would have had a great chance. Really just made a transition seamlessly. Very efficient as a rookie before that injury, but which was a really tough thing to watch for anyone as he was showing so much promise early on in his career.
Looking at who's out there now for the Jazz. Winslow comes in for DeMarre Carroll, and it's Green in for Aaron Aflalo.
And for Parker, he could have been in the Rookie of the Year running with his play, scoring just over 12 points a game and shooting almost 50% before the injury ended his season.
Now here's Schroeder. Smith outside. He kicks to Schroeder. Just 4 to shoot. With the teardrop, and the layup is up and in. Schroeder's got his second basket of the game.
And even in the short glimpses of last season, you could see that Parker was the real deal. I mean, he had no problem finding ways to score. And even with his injury setback, he should be a great player for years to come.
Hornets trail by 3. Smith with it. There's the pick. And a wide open look for Iguodala. And the foul called on Bismack Biyombo. That is his first foul of the game for the Jazz. Bogut comes in for Thompson. And Parker subbed in for Ricky Rubio. The Hornets also changing it up. Ibaka comes in for Gordon. And Turner subbed in for Andre Iguodala. And so it's Utah here with the ball. Winslow kicks to Bogut. He dishes it to Winslow. Screen by Bogut. Winslow, the pass to Bogut. Rebounded by Serge Ibaka.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense.
Now, here is Smith. And he gets it to go.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Here's Parker. From 13. Can't get it to go. Good work defensively by Ibaka. Charlotte trailing. Utah was so tough near the end of last season, Greg. They weren't going to make the playoffs, but they did give other teams some trouble.
That's a great point. And how about going 19-10 after the All-Star break? Another team that would have been in the playoffs if they were in the East.
Now here's Parker after the miss from Evan Turner.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Now here's Biyombo. Screened by Ibaka. Smith wide open. He fires. A three-pointer is right on target. Smith's got the lead up to 2 now for the Hornets.
And, you know, for the Jazz, you mentioned their post-All-Star break surge. I mean, that 19-10 record they had after the break was good enough for 6th best in the league.
And really, the Jazz were a team nobody wanted to play after the break. They were over 500 against the rest of the West and had some big wins over playoff teams in the process.
Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. Feeds to Winslow. Great pass to set up the lay-in. Winslow's got it all tied up now for the Jazz. The number 1 overall pick in 2005, Andrew Bogut. Great expectations, Greg, for the big Aussie coming in.
Yeah, I mean, a phenomenal rebounder and rim protector. He's got that high basketball IQ from a defensive standpoint. You know, and on offense, he averaged over 20 points a game in college. He's an instinctive passer, just not much more you could ask for.
Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played.
You know, going back to Bogut's fanfare entering the league, was third in Rookie of the Year balloting. Then he went on to have some solid, if unspectacular, years, though his shot blocking and defense were always strong.
Parker's shot is off.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
I certainly do. You know, I like to see guys do their work inside. Their rebounding has been excellent, and that's always important in a close game.
And even though he missed that, you have to take those shots when you get the opportunity.
Exactly. They don't come much better or easier than that.
Now here's Winslow. 11 points in the game. And Tony Parker hits from deep. Parker's got 5 points so far.
And guys, one thing people often forget to mention about Bogut, his passing. What sets him apart as a big man is his court vision. And whether it's from the high post, low post, he can create opportunities for his teammates.
And here's Schroeder following the three-pointer by Tony Parker. Just 5 on the clock. Shoots from 14. They grab their own miss. Ibaka. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
And guys, Serge Ibaka's production was just a little off last season. We're not talking, big number changes. We're talking small dips in a number of categories.
Well, one category where he did really fall off, though, Kevin, was field goal percentage. A career 53% shooter, he dropped down to 47.
Looking at who's out there now for the Jazz. Kevin Garnett is checked in for Parker. Damari Carroll comes in for Winslow. And it's a Flalo in for Daniel Green. Charlotte also making some changes. Festus Ezeli, he's checked in for Bismack Biyombo. Korver comes in for J.R. Smith. And it's Teague in for Dennis Schroeder.
And getting back to Ibaka, everything changed for him the minute Kevin Durant was lost last season. Defenses could focus on him, and he was the Thunder's only front court scoring threat. And as much as he's improved on offense, he still has neither the flexibility nor skill set to be a guy that can be considered a first or second option offensively.
And with that, the Utah lead is cut down to just 1 on the basket from Teague. Jazz have gotten a little under 50% of their second quarter shots to find the mark. 4 of 9 all told. Parker drives in. And the rejection by Ezeli. But they'll get another chance. Carroll dishes to Garnett. Here's Parker. Another miss by Parker.
Talking about Ibaka, last season was good for his growth. He got a taste of what it's like to be the first or second scoring option rather than an afterthought. Now it's up to him to take that experience and convert it into improvement.
Utah is shooting 36% in the second quarter. They really haven't found their rhythm yet offensively here. Garnett, the screen. Parker kicks to Afflalo. Here's the screen beyond the arc. And Parker with the basket on the assist by Afflalo. And that's 10 points for Tony Parker.
And not a great start for him in the first, but he's quickly starting to turn it around.
Teague inside the line. Again, the Hornets score.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
Bogut with a screen on Teague. Parker drives in. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Parker's got 10 points now just in this quarter. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Jazz lead by 2. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny, the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be looking back at the game's first half. A stellar first half for Tony Parker. He had 12 points and 1 steal. And, Kenny, what'd you see out there from the Jazz?
They're playing with a sense of urgency, even though they're at home. Sometimes you feel so comfortable on your home court, the other team can jump on you. But they know these fans have their back, and now they're well positioned to build a lead in the second half.
Shaq, let's get your insight on Charlotte.
They're giving up way too many good looks. You want to keep your opponent under 50% shooting? They have not done that. What's the solution? Maybe more ball pressure, more physicality down low. Whatever it is, Ernie, they need to figure it out.
And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway. Kevin Harlan has the call.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half.
We saw some good action from Tony Parker. He has 12 points, and he's got 2 baskets from out in three-point lane.
And I'm sure they'd like to get a few more of those out of him.
Utah's gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game.
Boy, I tell you, I thought the Jazz had a big year last season. Looked much tougher than before. A big part of that is how Coach Quinn Snyder helped the team grow. I mean, he looked like a perfect fit in his first year with the franchise.
We've got Bogut. Winslow is out there with Jabari Parker. Then it's Tony Parker. And it's Green in at the 2-guard spot. That's the group right now for Utah. Now, here is Smith. And that one's good. Schroeder. Schroeder's got the game tied up here for Charlotte. You were mentioning the Jazz, and they grew last year under Coach Quinn Snyder in his first year. You know, Greg, he did the same thing with teams when he was a coach in the D-League.
That's a great point, Kevin. And beyond the growth that the Jazz showed, I think everyone in Utah was pleased with the style of play. I mean, Coach Snyder's got the team back to playing hard defense and really grinding out wins.
Just 5 to shoot. Out to Turner from deep. Excellent D there from Parker. Utah shooting pretty good tonight at 48%. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And so last season for Tony Parker, somewhat of a shift. I mean, he was solid, but injuries cost him a few games. He also had his lowest assists and points per game totals since his rookie year. But he fought through like the champion that he is.
And the first one at the line is good. Last year, a big challenge for Tony Parker. He was in his 14th season, obviously. Every great player needs to transform his game as he gets on in age, Clark. We've seen it with the great ones. Parker did put up the highest three-point percentage of his career last year.
And he also ran the offense with tremendous poise and professionalism and cut down the turnover average as well, the lowest of his career. Yeah, in the quest to get to the playoffs, the Hornets came up short last season, and a lot of that was due to how they fared against the Western Conference. They just couldn't keep up with the offensive firepower coming out of the West.
Utah leading. Over a minute and a half into the third quarter of action. Pass to Winslow. Parker sets the screen for Winslow. To the middle. Shot from 12. That's good. And the Jazz lead by 4. As you mentioned, the Hornets struggled against the West, only won 8 games in their 30 games played.
And you need to be near 500 against the West if you want to make the playoffs in the East. But it was their lack of offense that just made it so hard for the Hornets to keep up with a lot of teams in the West.
Parker with no one around. Great look, but off the mark. Hornets trail by 4. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Iguodala, right side. Ibaka sets the pick for Iguodala. Soft touch off the glass.
And that was a strong pick. Ammonia strong by Ibaka.
Jazz have gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half. find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Quinn Snyder was saying to his team. He made no mistake that their plan was to run their offense through Winslow. Coach emphasized getting him as many touches as possible, saying he is going to be one of the guys to carry us the rest of the way. Those could prove to be crucial changes to their strategy with this game getting ready to enter the stretch drive, Kevin.
And thank you, Doris. Schroeder kicks to Biyombo. The pass to Iguodala. On the wing, Gordon. No good. Good D by Thompson. Utah has gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. Winslow, the pass to Rubio. The screen from Thompson. Rubio with a wide open look. Offensive rebound. Pass to Winslow. Tries again. And it's good on the layup. Winslow's got the lead up to 4 now for Utah.
Boy, how about physical play by Rubio to set that shot up with the screen.
Now here's Schroeder. Tight defense on him. Smith on the wing. Guarded by Green. There's a screen. And it's Smith missing.
And how big was last year's trade for J.R. Smith? I mean, sent from the Knicks to the Cavaliers around midseason, Smith began to post some of the better numbers of his career, helping prove that for a tumultuous personality like Smith's, environment is key.
Hornets trail by 7. For the Jazz, Kevin Garnett is checked in for Jabari Parker. Damari Carroll comes in for Winslow. And it's Afflalo in for Daniel Green. The Hornets also changing it up. Festus Ezeli, he's checked in for Biyombo. Korver comes in for J.R. Smith. And it's Teague in for Dennis Schroeder. They set the pick. That's a 2 from Korver. Charlotte no good that time either.
Major defensive lapse right there. I mean, he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You've got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
Hornets trail by 7. Teague with the ball. Now guarded by Afflalo. Gordon dishes to Iguodala. Passes it to Teague. And stolen by Afflalo. And the rebound goes to the Hornets.
Now, nice work there to contest the finish inside.
You know, they got the shot they wanted, but his defense, deterred them from those plans.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. That's the message they were sending with that foul. Nothing easy inside.
All right, well, a look at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for Utah.
So far, they've turned in a fantastic performance from the three-point line. It's been a weapon all game.
Yeah, but Clark, the other thing that sticks out for me, the number of assists they've made over the course of this game.
Andrew Bogut, he's checked in for Tristan Thompson. Evan Turner, he's checked in for Charlotte. So he picks up just 1 from the line that time. And for Festus Ezeli, came in as an extremely raw prospect a couple years back. Late first-round draft pick. His minutes were down actually last season, but his production was decidedly up.
Yeah, he went from 44 to 55% on field goals, from 53 to 63% on free throws, a testament to how much effort he's putting into developing that shooting stroke. And Kevin, who says a point guard should look to pass first? I mean, not when you can finish like this fella.
Well, Clark, he wasn't going to give that opportunity up to a teammate.
Well, you know, Kevin, that's one he'll always take himself, and he should. I mean, you can't pass up that kind of opportunity or fun. And, you know, going back to Azita, impressive physically, 7 foot, 7'6" wingspan, 5% body fat. If his skill set ever catches up with his natural gifts, watch out, watch out.
Teague against Rubio. On the wing of Flello. Rubio outside. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Rubio's got 7 points. The third quarter comes to a close. Utah out in front, up by 5. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the fourth quarter. All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. Here's Turner. And on the court for Charlotte as we start the fourth. Baca is out there with Turner. Then it's Smith. And there's Bismack Biyombo. And it's Teague in at the 1 spot. Utah had a great home court advantage last year here. This crowd knows how to get into an opponent's head.
And Kevin, that they do. It's a big part of why the Jazz were able to eke out over 500 last season at home. Ended up 21-20 by winning 4 of their last 5 home games.
And you know, with Utah's play at home, they played in a very jazzy way. No pun intended. And by that I mean grinding it out. They were really strong on the glass, as they were second in the league in rebounding differential at home.
Thompson, he's checked in for Utah. Andre Iguodala, he's checked in for Charlotte. Dennis Schroeder comes in for Teague. Ibaka hits both of them.
And Utah being so good at home is one reason why they've been so competitive for the majority of their seasons. After last year, they became the only team not to lose 60 games in a season.
Now, here's Thompson. Biyombo with the block. Smith against Green. Ibaka with the screen on Parker. Now Schroeder. Down to 5 on the shot clock. But they recover it. Biyombo kicks to Smith. And he gets the bucket.
Assist from Bismack Biyombo.
And we've played through about a minute here in the fourth. Parker outside. The screen from Thompson. Parker passes to Thompson. Just 5 on the clock. Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession.
You always want a player to have his head up and to be surveying the court, but not if that's going to be the result.
Charlotte trailing. Schroeder kicks to Ibaka. There's the feed to Iguodala. J.R. Smith on the wing. Guarded by Green. Screened by Ibaka. Smith drives in, kicks to Schroeder. Charlotte moving the ball around. And it's J.R. Smith with the 3. Smith's got the lead up to 2 now for Charlotte.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
Overall, a down year for the Hornets in the 2014-15 season. A big part of that was that they would struggle on the road.
Yeah, and you know they had playoff aspirations, but as you said, those aspirations derailed because of the road struggle.
Let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Hey, Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Quinn Snyder was going over with his team. He tried to really fire them up to bring it home, saying, all night, you have all night to rest after the final buzzer. For now, we have to lay it on the line and try to bring it home. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Doris. Now, here's Parker. Dishes it to Parker. Back to Parker. They set the pick. Thompson sets the pick for Green. Looking to end the run, and that one comes up a bit short. The Hornets have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Now here's Schroeder, covered by Parker. Schroeder passes to Smith. Rebound by Parker. Parker's got his 4th rebound in this one. Parker with it. And it's Iguodala picking him up. The dish to Green. The Jazz with another miss.
Yeah, good tough D there to get a hand up and force that miss.
That's example number 1 of why he is such a strong defensive player and why he has such a great defensive reputation.
Now here's Schroeder. Smith right side. Shot clock at 6. They set the screen. Smith missing again.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
Parker drives in. That's good. Parker's got it all tied up now for Utah.
Unbelievable basket. I mean, giving up a lot of height there, but he was not to be denied.
Not when the game's hanging in the balance. That makes it a little different. He's going to get to the rim no matter who was standing in the way on that one.
Bogut checked in for Tristan Thompson.
Andrew Bogut.
And so it's Charlotte with it. A great fourth quarter, just giving up 2 points. Schroeder kicks to Smith. Shoots from the line. Good for basket number 6 from him in the contest. He's shooting 6 for 12.
Really hard to find fault with anything he's doing this quarter, at least at the offensive end.
Inside, here's Bogut. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Bismarck Biyombo. That's his 3rd personal.
And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. Scoring breakdown for the Hornets.
Boy, guys, I really like how they've driven the ball to the basket in this game. I mean, they've been very aggressive with it.
Yeah, and something else they've done all through this one is knock down the mid-range jump shot whenever they've had the chance.
The Jazz making a switch here. Rubio's checked in. Second free throw, no good. For Charlotte, they've gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the fourth quarter. now. Here's Schroeder. He's guarded closely, and it's stolen by Ricky Rubio. Screen by Bogut. The drive by Rubio. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. And the Jazz lead by 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Jazz Dancers.
Evan Turner. He's checked in for Andre Iguodala. .153 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Schroeder. No luck. And it's Utah the other way. There's Winslow. And there's Bogut on the assist by Winslow.
No matter what they've tried, the D just has not been able to deny them the ball in the paint.
And it's a big key thus far in this game, Clark, because whenever they've gotten the ball in the paint, good things have happened.
All right, fans, I want everyone to get on up out of your seats and make some noise for your Jazz Dancers. All right, Raptors fans, here it is, the start of the fourth quarter. Make some noise!
.137 left here in the fourth quarter. Smith for three. That's good. Smith's got the game tied up here for Charlotte.
He's starting to heat up from outside. That's his second this half.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Jazz Dancers.
It's Rubio, top of the key. Here's Parker. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. And it's 6 points for Parker.
Despite his ineffectiveness, the team has found other scoring options, which you have to have when one of your main guys is struggling.
Smith kicks it over to Schroeder. There's the bucket. Good.
Great move to get to the rim. I think they're going to take the aggressive approach down the stretch.
All right, fans, I want everyone here to get on up out of your seats and make some noise for your Jazz Dancers.
1:16 left in the game. Shoots from 12. And the rejection by Ibaka. Here's Parker. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot two. Serge Ibaka picks one up there.
Yeah, just nice strength there, and then just off with the shot.
Boy, with all the contact he drew there, Greg, that would have been a heck of a bucket. He nearly got it to go.
At the line for your Jazz, Jabari Parker. At the line for two.
So the first one drops, and that gives them the lead. And so both free throws are good, and it's a two-point ball game.
Looking at the game for Parker, he has 8 points, and he's done his job at the charity stripe. He's gotten 4 of his points from there.
And that's a good place to get them. They don't come easier than that, but you've got to get yourself there first.
So it's Utah now, following the bucket by the Hornets. Over to the left wing. Down low, Bogut. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot two.
And they had a foul to give, but you want to use it on the ground.
Yeah, I agree with you there, but at least they did get the clock stopped. That is the one saving grace of that situation.
Shooting for Utah, Andrew Bogut. Taking 2 shots.
And no good as the first free throw, missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. He's able to hit the second one, and that gives them the lead.
Yeah, disappointing not to convert all of them, but he did get the one to give them the lead. What a bucket at one of the more crucial moments of the game.
How about the cool, collected way in which he delivered it? Clutch.
The free throw drops for Biyombo.
A great job to get the bucket and to get to the line. When the game's on the line, you want your guys attacking like he did there.
Now, here's Rubio. Here's Parker. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. In the corner, Ibaka with it. Shoots from the baseline. Good D by Rubio.
Still a chance here, but they need to score.
I really agree, but it has to happen on every possession. They need points every trip.
How about the inbound pass there? Easy bucket.
And here's Schroeder. He feeds it to Biyombo. Out to Smith. From deep.
All right now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
He knocks down the clutch free throw. Can't knock it down, and they really needed that one. And so it's the Hornets who come out on top. They break the hearts of every fan in the building with a dramatic late victory.
And Kevin, this is the kind of win you have to take a ton of pride in. I mean, they battled with everything they had and came through when the pressure was at its highest.
And that'll do it, folks. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for tuning in. And we'll see you next time.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we have the opportunity to present our Jordan Player of the Game, J.R. Smith. He had an outstanding fourth quarter where he really shined, pouring it on heavy down the stretch.
Well, he showed us just how good he can be when he's at the top of his game. And the building was stunned. You saw people leaving early, throwing popcorn, throwing hot dogs, spilling soda. He put on a CSDP, a crowd shut down performance. Man, that's what I'm talking about, Ernie.
He shot over 50% from the field in the game, a testament to how hard he worked to always find the best look possible. He was in constant motion. He found those gaps in the D and made the most of his open looks.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.